Meteorologist Andrew Whitmer filling in for Matt Yurasovic, our newlywed, who's taking a few weeks off. Andrew, it has been like summer here, nearly 80 degrees in Columbia this week, but just like last week at Kansas State, this area could really use some rain, just not during the game.
Well, yeah, and after last week's cold front that did bring with it at least a chance for some moisture across parts of the plains as well as parts of the Mississippi River Valley that really do again need a lot of moisture. Unfortunately, though, as we go throughout this week, we're going to again kind of see it being quiet across much of the heartland here of the country. Active across the Pacific Northwest, and then we'll be watching if we can get a little tropical wave going that could increase moisture chances here across parts of the eastern seaboard, parts of at least the eastern Florida, as well as parts of the eastern Carolinas. If we do get that little tropical low pressure system developing, could bring with it some scattered shower chances, which would be good news as the Carolinas have been going quite dry lately. Meanwhile, again, all eyes on the Pacific Northwest. It is the month of November. Typically, this is their wettest month of the year here, and they're going to be getting a lot of chances here for inundated showers, even snow across parts of the higher elevations. Meanwhile, high pressure is going to kind of be parked around parts of the central parts of the country, and we're also going to be dealing with breezy and windy conditions across parts of the northern plains here as we go throughout this midweek. Walking through the jet stream here on this Monday, again, we'll be watching kind of this trough developing, and that will continue to remain parked out west. Meanwhile, this ridge will stay kind of parked out across the eastern coast here, Midwest Great Lakes states, and that's going to allow, again, temperatures to be well above average here as we go throughout the first few days of this upcoming week, and then we finally start to see that ridge beginning to break on down. We'll get kind of that trough, a little bit more of a zonal flow here, trying to take shape here as we go into the latter half of this week. And hopefully, again, that we could see a few more chances for some showers here later on this week across the heartland of the country. Notice the root zone here from a Halloween Monday showing the reds there, and that is an indication of some very dry soils. We really do need the moisture here across the northern half of the plains. And the drought monitor, again, reflecting those drier soils out across parts of the Carolinas, Midwestern states, and again, extreme to exceptional drought still being felt across the parts of the plain states as well. And where we're dealing with several rounds of precipitation across the Pacific Northwest. That is where the conditions still remain dry as well. Luckily for these folks, we will likely start to see improvements on the drought monitor here as we go throughout the next 1 to 2 weeks, with again that trough system bringing with it scattered showers across the parts of the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures this week, again, where that trough is, expect below average temperatures. Meanwhile, where that ridge is kind of parked out across the eastern half of the U.S., well above average temperatures are likely going to be forecasted here throughout the parts of this week. And then taking a look at the precipitation, where those above average temperatures are, kind of expect below average temperatures and below average precipitation. And where those below average temperatures are, that's an indication of, again, a more active pattern that is taking shape across parts of the western U.S. Temperatures this next week, though, are going to be above average for parts of the Carolinas, and then starting to see that cooler weather starting to move on into the Great Lakes, parts of the deep south as well.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, fireworks in the grain markets this week, but is it all because Russia is abandoning that grain deal? Plus, what policy are our marketing economists watching ahead of the big midterm election? Our marketing roundtables, College Roadshow style. That's next.